Hey all, I have this layout that I just finished making of my son on his 4th birthday with his brand new bike, and I wanted to share with you how to make these squares that I have here in the background. I remember when I first saw this technique years ago in somewhere on somebody's blog, and I couldn't find it again just now. Otherwise I'd give this person credit. But this is to look like they are hand cut blocks, because we know when you just cut by hand, often the lines are not straight, and so it really gives a more paper scrapbooking look to this. Of course, if I wanted to, I could go in and do custom drop shadows, but I'm not going to be that picky for my layout. And so I'm going to share with you though how to make these squares. They're actually very easy, and I'm going to go ahead and make everything invisible, and we're going to start from scratch. Where's that bike? Okay. First, let's make a new layer. Select your rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to go up here and choose fixed ratio. Now the default is 1:1. That's fine. That means for every 1 pixel on the width, it'll go 1 pixel on the height, and that's just perfect. It's going to make a square. And so I'm going to draw a square. Doesn't matter what size, and I'm going to fill it with any color. Doesn't matter what color, this just happens to be white. And then if you're just doing one of these, this is all you have to do. But since I'm making a block of them, I'm going to duplicate it by hitting Control J on my keyboard and moving it over. Control J and move it over with my mouse, and Control J and move it over with my mouse. Next, we need to make the hand cut look. So I'm going to select this first square, go to the filter drop down menu, then go to distort and choose wave, and we get a pop-up box. Now we're going to want the sign or the type, and some of these other variables are going to be flexible. You can't see very well. Maybe if you use a black square rather than a white, you're going to be able to see it here in the preview box. So that might be a suggestion to get a black template instead of this white one. That's hard to see. But basically, you can bring the scale all the way up. For my last example, I'd moved it down a little bit. For the horizontal, you can just play around with however you want. The wavelength is a little bit adjustable, but you don't really want to go up high. You want the maximum wavelength probably all the way up, and this wavelength is very flexible. You can just play around, but keep it kind of down here on the end. And the same thing for the amplitude. The amplitude, when I played with it, I really didn't think it did well going over any of these numbers for a 5 figure. Of course, if you do a minimum of 5, then you'll see that, well, I put 4 in there, that the maximum has to be at least the same or higher than, 5 and 5 has to be the exact, it has to be either the same or higher than the minimum. But I'm going to start out with 3 and maybe 5 in these figures. And everything is kind of flexible. This number here, you're going to want to have it low also. I'm going to click OK, and you're going to see when I zoom in that now we have a little hand cut look on that square. It's not perfectly square anymore. And what I did when I did mine was I just randomly picked another square from each of the rows and went to Filter and Wave, or you can hit Control F, and I applied it to this one and this one. So I had 3 there with the same kind of wave, and then I went back in because we don't want everything to be exactly alike, and did it again and played with the numbers again. Let's do 4 and 5 and just kind of make one just slightly different than the last one. And then we can go into the other 2 rows and apply that filter to those 2. Now you can see we're beginning to get there. I'm going to go to the, whoops, I applied it to that one, undo, I didn't mean to do that. Distort, wave, and I'm going to change it maybe to a 2. Let's try that, and a 4, and change some of the other sliders just ever so slightly. And I applied that to the wrong one. There we go. And pick some others to apply that to that have not been done yet. And then I think we only have to do that one more time. And you can go back and do this. I'm going to try a 6. Let's just make something a little more. Whoops. I was getting ready to change you. Popped up at me. Let's change this maybe to a 6. See what we get. We get something a little bit more wavy, which is okay. 6 is okay. I did something to move this. Let's apply it to that one, and it looks like this one is not done yet. And you can go back and run the filters on them again if you want till you get something that you like. Now that you have all of these, you have a choice of either grouping these using the Control G method individually. Let's see, so I could get a copy of this paper, and this is a kit by Connie Prince. I should give her the credits. And see, I can put this here and do a Control J, and it groups it with just this one. I'm sorry, Control G, and I could do that, or let's hit undo. You can do what I did in my tutorial. If you want to group them all with the same paper, and I went down and highlighted them all. I'm holding down my Shift and my Control key while I click on the bottom one and the top one to select them all, and then right click and merge layers. Now these are all on one layer, and I can then hit Control G, and now you're going to see exactly what I got before, and then I added a drop shadow to them, and that's exactly how I got what I got before. And so I hope you have enjoyed watching this and have learned how to pick it up, and I look forward to seeing you do this in your own layouts. Have fun and see you around the corner.